What if I told you that 82% of cars never make it past 150,000 miles? Yet mine blasted past 500,000 without a rebuild. And no, it wasn't luck. The real killers of modern engines aren't age or mileage, but the hidden secrets the auto industry hopes you never discover. Today, we're tearing down that wall of silence. I'm revealing 17 brutally honest, data-backed, mechanic-approved longevity hacks that can push your car past 700,000 miles running smooth, strong, and far more reliably than the manufacturers ever intended. Trick 17. The Smart 3K Oil Rule. Most drivers trust the 10,000-mile oil change interval printed in the owner's manual. But those numbers are designed for ideal conditions in low-maintenance marketing, not real-world driving. Engines don't wear out because they get old. They wear out because dirty, broken-down oil stops protecting metal parts long before that 10,000 mark. Independent studies from AAA found that extended oil intervals increase internal wear by up to 40%, especially in cars that take short trips, sit in traffic, or run in hot or dusty climates. If you want your engine to last into the hundreds of thousands, the rule is simple. Fresh oil every 3,000 to 5,000 miles, depending on how and where you drive. Hot climates like Arizona or Texas? Thicker oil, such as 5W30, handles heat better. Colder regions like Minnesota or Canada? A thinner winter weight like 0W20 flows faster on startup, preventing dry friction. Combine high-quality synthetic oil with a shorter change cycle, and you create the single most effective barrier against timing chain wear, bearing scoring, and sludge formation. Trick 16. The Gearbox Lifesaver Routine. Most drivers never think about their transmission fluid until the car starts slipping, jerking, or refusing to shift smoothly. And by then, it's usually too late. The big myth is that modern transmissions use lifetime fluid. But in the real world, lifetime usually means until the warranty ends, not until your car hits 300,000 miles. Heat is the silent killer here. Automatic transmissions operate between 175 degrees Fahrenheit and 220 degrees Fahrenheit, and every 20-degree increase above that range cuts the fluid's lifespan in half. That's why more than 60% of transmission failures are caused by overheated, broken-down fluid, not mechanical defects. Replace the ATF every 30,000 to 50,000 miles, even if your manual claims otherwise. Fresh fluid keeps the clutches cool, the seals healthy, and the gears shifting like new. If you tow, drive in stop-and-go traffic, or live in a hot climate, your fluid breaks down even faster, making early changes the cheapest insurance you can buy against a $3,000 to $5,000 transmission rebuild. Trick 15. The Silent Fuel System Keeper. Topping off your tank after the pump clicks might seem harmless, but it's one of the fastest ways to damage your car's fuel system without realizing it. When you force extra fuel into the neck after the automatic shutoff, that excess gasoline floods the charcoal canister in your evap system, the part designed to capture fuel vapors, not liquid fuel. Once it gets soaked, it starts breaking apart internally, sending tiny charcoal particles into the lines and valves. That leads to rough idling, hard starts, fuel smells, check engine lights, and repairs that can easily hit $400 to $1,200. The pump clicks for a reason, to keep fuel pressure balanced and protect the vapor recovery system. The moment you hear the first click, stop. Trick 14. The Engine Mount Death Test. Your engine shouldn't shake like it's trying to escape the car. Worn engine mounts are one of the most overlooked causes of vibration, rough idling, and even premature transmission wear. Studies from major repair networks show bad mounts contribute to nearly 20% of driveline stress failures. Here's the quick test. Start the car and keep your foot firmly on the brake. Shift from park into drive. Watch and feel. If the engine bucks forward, if the cabin vibrates harshly, or if the steering wheel shakes more than usual, your mounts are likely worn. A $150 mount fixed early saves you from a $1,000 disaster later. Trick 13. The Smart Warm-Up Routine. For years, drivers have believed that the right way to warm up a cold engine is to let it idle for 5 or even 10 minutes. But modern engines don't work like cars from the 1980s. In fact, long idling does more harm than good. Cold idling washes excess fuel down the cylinder walls, dilutes the oil, and accelerates wear. The smart way? Give your engine 20 to 30 seconds after startup, then drive gently. That short window allows oil pressure to stabilize and circulate fully without flooding the cylinders or overheating the catalytic converter. Real-world test data shows engines warm up 40% faster when driving lightly versus idling, which means less friction, better fuel combustion, and longer engine life.
Trick 12. Coolant. Truth check. Engine overheating isn't random. It's almost always a cooling system that's been quietly degrading for months. Many drivers trust the 100,000-mile coolant label, but real-world driving tells a different story. Coolant slowly turns acidic, loses its corrosion inhibitors, and starts eating away at aluminum components from the inside out. Studies show that neglected coolant increases the risk of head gasket failure by nearly 40%. A quick drain test reveals everything. Healthy coolant should look bright and clear. If it's brown, rusty, sludgy, or full of particles, your system is overdue for a flush and refill. Replace coolant every 30,000 to 50,000 miles, even if your manual claims otherwise. Trick 11. Fuel that fights back. Cheap fuel is one of the fastest ways to age an engine long before its time. Modern engines, especially GDI engines, spray fuel at pressures up to 2,000 pounds per square inch, and even tiny deposits can disrupt the spray pattern. Tests from the AAA Fuel Quality Study showed that engines running non-top-tier fuel built up 19 times more carbon in just 4,000 miles. The fix is simple and cheap. Run top-tier certified gasoline whenever possible, and use a high-quality injector cleaner every 3,000 to 4,000 miles. Cars like Hyundai, BMW, Toyota, and Chevy show noticeably smoother idle and better throttle response after just one proper cleaning cycle. Trick 10. The Shift Smart Ritual. Your gearbox is one of the most expensive systems in your car, yet it's also one of the easiest to damage without realizing it. Hard shifts, quick slams into reverse, and rolling while shifting from drive to park all send shock loads through the transmission. AMCO reports that improper shifting habits contribute to over 40% of early transmission failures, even in cars with low mileage. The Shift Smart Ritual is simple. Come to a complete stop before changing direction. Pause a second before engaging reverse, and avoid shifting into park while the car is still rolling. This tiny 1-second routine prevents the parking pawl, clutch pistons, and gear sets from grinding against each other under load. Trick 9. Carbon Clean Revival. Carbon buildup is one of the most misunderstood killers of engine performance, especially in modern GDI engines. These engines spray fuel directly into the cylinder, which means the intake valves never get washed with gasoline the way older engines did. Studies from the SAE show that GDI engines can lose up to 10% power and efficiency by just 50,000 miles due to carbon buildup alone. A proper carbon cleaning every 40,000 to 60,000 miles, whether it's walnut blasting, chemical cleaning, or a trusted induction service, restores airflow and keeps combustion crisp. Think of it as unclogging your engine's lungs. Trick 8. Parking Power Protector. Most drivers think the gear selector does all the work when they throw the car into P, but that single habit silently destroys a critical transmission component called the parking pawl. It's a small metal lock that holds your entire vehicle's weight when parked on an incline. When it fails, you're looking at a repair bill that can cross $900 to $1,500. The smarter routine. Always engage the handbrake first. Let the car settle and then shift into park. This transfers weight to the brake system where it belongs rather than punishing the transmission. Transmission specialists estimate this simple habit can reduce pawl wear by up to 70%. Trick 7. Power line protection. Your car's entire electrical system balances on just a few cables, yet these are the most ignored parts under the hood. Weak battery terminals and corroded ground cables don't just cause slow starts, they trigger a chain reaction of strange electrical problems.
ASE technicians report that nearly 30% of mystery electrical problems come down to bad grounds, not bad parts. The fix takes minutes. Check the battery terminals for white crust, loose clamps, or frayed grounds. Clean them with a wire brush, tighten them properly, and apply dielectric grease to keep corrosion away. A clean ground can add years to your alternator and starter, preventing repairs that typically cost $300 to $900. Trick 6. Throttle Reset Magic. Your car's throttle body is one of the most misunderstood parts of the engine. When it gets confused, usually after a battery replacement, a jump start, or years of stop-and-go driving, you feel it instantly. Lazy acceleration, unstable idle, delayed throttle response. But many of these symptoms aren't mechanical failures. They're software confusion. A throttle reset wipes those bad habits clean and forces the car to relearn the correct idle and throttle position. The reset takes less than 2 minutes. Turn the key to on, engine off. Press the gas pedal fully for 10 seconds, switch off, release, then start the engine and let it idle while it recalibrates.
Trick 5. Coast like a pro. Most people drive right up to a stoplight and hit the brakes hard, but that habit silently destroys your braking system long before your pads even wear out. Every time you slam the brakes at the last second, your rotors can spike above 500 degrees Fahrenheit, causing glazing, warping, and microcracks. Consumer Reports found drivers who brake late replace pads 40% sooner and rotors twice as often. When you lift off the accelerator 5 to 10 seconds earlier, the engine naturally slows the car while keeping brake temperatures stable. Hybrids like the Toyota Prius often see brake components last over 120,000 miles without replacement using this strategy. Trick 4. Fuel filter test. A fuel filter is one of the smallest parts in your car, yet it has the power to choke your entire engine without making a sound. Eventually, the filter becomes so restricted that your engine can't get enough fuel under load. Cars with clogged filters often hesitate when accelerating, struggle on hills, or feel like they're running out of power. Manufacturers recommend replacement every 30,000 to 50,000 miles. A $30 filter changed on time protects your injectors, pump, and engine from thousands in repairs. Trick 3. Life-saving brake fluid flush. Brake fluid is hygroscopic, meaning it absorbs moisture from the air every single day. Within 2 years, moisture content can reach 3%, which is enough to lower the boiling point by almost half. When fluid boils under heavy braking, you lose pedal pressure, braking power, and control. A quick brake fluid flush every 2 to 3 years prevents corrosion, protects the ABS system, and keeps pedal feel sharp and responsive. Trick 2. The power of quality plugs. Cheap spark plugs might look like a bargain, but they silently drain power, fuel economy, and engine health. Studies show worn or low-grade plugs can reduce fuel efficiency by up to 30%, trigger misfires, and overload the catalytic converter. Stick to OEM-grade or iridium plugs and change them on schedule. Quality plugs restore smooth idle, crisp acceleration, and lower fuel consumption. Trick 1. The quarter tank rule. When you regularly run below a quarter tank, the pump loses the gasoline it relies on for cooling. Industry studies show that pumps exposed to frequent low fuel conditions run up to 40 degrees Fahrenheit hotter, a key reason they fail 30% faster in high-mileage cars. Keeping your tank above 1/4 avoids all that damage, stabilizes pump temperatures, and keeps debris settled where it can't hurt anything. And there you have it, the habits that quietly push ordinary cars into the 300,000-mile club and beyond. If you found even one tip that can save your engine, your wallet, or your sanity, these simple routines will transform how long your car lasts. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. See you in the next one.